Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain,
I'm Juliana.
and today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Sorcerer. So, Sorcerer was designed by Peter Schultz with Robert Doherty and Darwin Castle. I'm going to show that up on the screen here. And it was published by White Wizard Games. I want to give a big thank you to White Wizard Games for giving us this review copy of Sorcerer to check out and play and film some content with. Thank you, White Wizard Games. And I do want to say, I've got a ton of links in the description down below that you can check out at your leisure. There is a link to BoardGameCaptain.com, which is a great hub for all things Board Game Captain. There is also a link to my Teespring store if you'd like to get yourself some Board Game Captain merch. And there is a link to my Patreon if you're in a position to and would like to support the channel. All right, so Sorcerer. This is definitely, I would call this a card battle game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, because there's not really deck building, even though there kind of is deck building, because, I don't know.
It's deck building like Smash Up is deck building. I don't consider Smash Up really deck building. It's like, because you only really do the deck construction at the very beginning. You draft the bits of your faction and just shuffle it together. So I don't think I would consider that deck building. I don't know.
No, so I would definitely say, yeah, card battle.
Card battle game.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost like a area control, sort of.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's definitely some area control in this. Let's open it up. Before we get into that, though, let's say it is listed for ages 14 and up for 60 minutes and for 2 to 4 players. So let's start there. Ages 14 and up, what are your thoughts?
I think it honestly depends on the maturity of the player. Like,
Well, true.
yeah.
But like, on an average person, would you recommend it at 14, or do you think which way would you go with it?
If they were into things like Dungeons and Dragons, maybe. But if they were into maybe lighter games, probably not.
I would say, okay, 14, if you're a little younger, but I would say specifically if you're playing with a kid who's already into a lot of card battle games, especially like collectible card games, I think they would get this.
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and a lot of the things were similar, so I caught on real quick.
But there's also a lot of things that are very different. Like there's a lot of
Absolutely.
dice rolling in this, which you'll see,
Absolutely.
which is very different than Magic the Gathering. Okay, so but I'm gonna say I actually agree with the 14. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty dead on. A little younger, like I said, though, if the person is very already into a lot of modern card games. Now, for the 60 minutes, I always prefer a range, but actually this is not a bad estimate.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm not sure how I would play with 4 players or 3 players, but with us, I think, we have the same amount of areas to control, and it's...
And we've played through this a few times now, and I want to say actually 60 minutes might be actually a bit of a conservative estimate. We've had games come in under that.
Yeah, well, I mean, last game specifically, the one that we showed here.
Yeah, they'll see it in a
quickly.
minute. Yeah, we were slamming through that
Yeah.
game. But like once you get used to the rules, you can zip through your
Absolutely.
turns for sure in this because it's one action per turn. You just do it and go. How about the 2 to 4 players? This is a 2-player game.
So we talked about this a little bit at the table. Yeah. I actually feel that playing this with more than 2 players might not be my favorite.
So now we haven't tried it, but there are 2 alternate modes in here for more than 2 players. There's a team mode and there's a like free for all mode. But generally speaking, this is really designed to be a 2-player game because the main rules are written for 2 players, and the other modes, while they're in there, they're alternate modes of play.
Yeah, I mean...
So I feel like that's not really part of the core game experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you get you still get the same amount of player interaction, I
Yeah.
guess, but I mean, if you're playing a 4-player game, you're not interacting with one of the players at all.
Well, you do, but I haven't fully read through all full disclosure, I haven't fully read through the multiplayer rules because I really like this at 2 players, and this feels like the kind of game that I would just play at 2 players. And like with Magic the Gathering, you can play Magic the Gathering with more than 2 players, but the thing is, why would you? Like, it's just not very good at more than 2 players, generally speaking. You need to really alter the rules to make it good at more than 2 players. So I feel like this is similar in that regard. Like, it feels like a very 2-player game, but I love it at 2 players. Spoiler alert there.
Also, I think that it's really nice to have a game that's a little bit heavier that is for 2 players and works really well at 2 players. Because most of the time you see the games and they're like, oh, we recommend 3 to 4, but here are the alternate 2-player rules. And this one everything is just like, hey, here's the 2-player rules. Like I loved that. I
Yeah.
respect that so much.
Yeah, because the 3 and 4, that is the alternate play.
Yeah.
Let's open up, show the components a little bit. And I do want to focus in on all of the production of this game, because the production is absolutely gorgeous. The cover art is gorgeous. The inside of the top of the box has a nice design on it, and that is because they recommend you use it as a dice tray to roll your dice in, which is great, because I mean, you could always use the top of a box as a dice tray, but the fact that they decorate it really makes it feel like it's part of the game.
Absolutely.
We're not actually going to be showing that in the tutorial because we didn't want it to take up a bunch of screen space. But the next thing we've got here is the rule book. Why don't you pull out the player boards while I'm going over the rule book? But the rule book is full color, lots of illustrations and diagrams, very well done. I didn't really have any major issues with the rule book at all. And then even though the rulebook is fairly large, and it took me a little bit of time to get through it, it's a total, without the multiplayer rules, we're talking about 26 pages of rules. I was able to teach you pretty quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it took maybe 15 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, so like there's a lot to this, but once you get it, it's pretty intuitive.
Absolutely.
So why don't you show the player boards there, because they're great.
The player boards are super cool. This is the side that I played on. I love it. It has the little Anubis. And then there's actually a second side.
And you can choose. You can play whatever side you want.
They're the same. They have all of the same features. So I think these are super nice. I love that they have the whole, like, the round and the glossary and the battle phase, action phase. Just like a little cheat sheet, so you don't need to take out the rule book all the time.
Oh, that is great. The cheat sheet is fantastic.
Absolutely.
On those boards. Really fantastic, actually. Okay, so here we have the 3 different locations that you're going to fight over. This is them when you're fighting over them, and then you have them destroyed on the other side, which is really, really cool. These are great. The artwork is beautiful. There's a 4th location. I believe this is specifically for the multiplayer game for 3 and 4 players. Then basically, you're going to be seeing a lot of this out on the table, but this has a fantastic insert with not just room for everything that it comes with, but room for expansion cards, because they are already doing expansions on this. But you've got the custom dice in here, you've got all the tokens, you've got the glass beads, you've got the cards, which I do want to briefly talk about the cards, because the cards are linen finish. They are beautiful artwork.
It's just beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to show some of these cards here, because these cards are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's another one. Look at that. Let me get the angle right there so you can see it. These cards are great. I absolutely love them. And this comes with, because you build a character out of 3 sets of cards. You get a character, a lineage, and a domain. And it comes with 4 characters, 4 lineages, and 4 domains, which means right out of the box, there's like
64 combinations.
Right, which we had figured out because we were looking at it, like, how many combinations is that? That's kind of crazy.
It's a lot.
And if in the back they advertise expansion packs for just 1 more of each, which would bring it over 100 combinations,
right,
which is nuts. Again, you've got a bunch of cardboard punch-out tokens. You got the custom dice. You got glass beads and wooden cubes. You're going to see all this out on the table. But I think we're going to speed right along, bring you to the table so we can run you through a couple of rounds and you can see how this game plays. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up to play a 2-player game of Sorcerer. So in order to set up, you got to set up the 3 different areas you're going to be fighting over in London here. We have Southwark, we have Whitechapel, and we have Old London. In addition, each player places out their player board. And as you see, we have different artwork on our player boards because they are double-sided. You can pick which artwork you want to go with, so we're showing both here. Then you also have to choose your character card, your lineage card, and your domain card. And the main way you do that is by drafting. The game comes with 4 of each. One player will draft a character first, then the other player drafts a character, then that player gets to draft a lineage. Then the other player drafts the lineage, followed by the other player drafting their domain, and back to the other player now to draft the domain. So it ping-pongs back and forth. So first I draft, then you draft 2, then I draft 2, then you draft your last one. That is kind of how it goes. Now, drafting each of these things gives you a card, which gives you a special ability for your character, for your lineage, and for your domain, which is why we each have 3 special ability cards over by our areas here and here. But they each also give you a stack of cards that you shuffle together to make a deck. Your character and your domain each give you 10 cards, and the lineage gives you 20. So you have a deck of 40 cards total. And they all play very different, and then there's lots of different synergies you can find while playing with them. So we've already done that, and now I'm playing on this side of the table here, and I am playing Meselda, the Bloodlord of the Screaming Coast.
And I'm playing Zevrain, the Necromancer of the Outcast Sanctuary.
Very cool. So the 3 cards, as you see, when they're put together, give you your full name and title. And now, since Juliana is going to be going first in this example game, she will decide where to place her avatar figure to represent her sorcerer in what part of London they are currently lurking.
I'm going to place him right here.
In Whitechapel. You know what? I'm going to join you in Whitechapel because I do like a central location, easier to move out of to the other locations if need be. Then after shuffling up our deck, we each draw a 6-card hand. You can check it to make sure you have enough minions, because if you don't, you can reveal any number of minion cards as a mulligan to then draw that many cards and shuffle those non-minion cards back into the deck before being ready to play. You also get to start with 1 omen token, and you start with your energy at 6 and your turn counter totally at 6, and then you're ready to go. And now we're just going to run you through how this goes. So for the first turn, you skip the first phase of the first turn, which is the ready phase. That is not going to happen until the second turn. So then we're just going to jump right into the action phase. And jumping into the action phase, Juliana is going to take her first action.
I'm going to play a Vengeful Mummy.
So now what Juliana's doing there is moving her action token down to show that she has taken her first action. So now that Vengeful Mummy, how much energy do they cost?
It only costs 1 energy, so I'm going to go down to 5 here. And I'm going to place him right in the middle here.
So in Whitechapel, now the Vengeful Mummy has a attack of 2. He has a energy of 2. He has a cost of 1, and he has an ability where he can be played for free from the discard pile, from the graveyard once he's been destroyed. So that is a really cool ability. In addition, I just want to mention that every player can only have up to 4 minions in each area. So that is Juliana's first of her 4 minions. So are you all finished with your first action?
I am finished with my first action.
For my first action, I am also going to summon a minion. So I'm going to spend a total of 5 energy, which is a lot, bring me all the way down to 1. And I'm going to play the Night Vale Hunter. Now, the Night Vale Hunter is a fairly expensive but powerful minion. They cost 5. They have 5 attack and 4 essence. They also have an ongoing effect that whenever an enemy minion becomes exhausted, they gain 1 blood. That's a particular faction ability. I have a blood card here to keep track of it that can be spent for extra abilities later in the game, so I may get to show that. Now, I also have one of my abilities from that, it's the Bloodlord ability, that has an ongoing effect that when I play a vampire minion, and this has to be in the area where my Sorcerer is, which I did play this vampire minion in that area, then I get to exhaust this to gain 2 blood. So I'm going to get 2 blood right there, which is very good because I do want to get as much blood as possible. That is going to be it for my first action. Also, when playing her, she has a little omen symbol here, which means I get a omen token for playing her. These are able to be spent for re-rolls. You'll see that when we're doing combat, but I get to add an omen token to my omens there.
Okay, for my second turn, I am going to play Lord of the Undead.
Oh, he's great.
Now, I'm going to use the ability on my person, my sorcerer, and he says that I can play a card, a minion who is a non-legendary, with a reduced cost by 2.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and tap him and exhaust him, rather, and play Lord of the Undead for 3.
A discount and a well-deserved one. That is really good.
And he has a pentagram, so I'm going to take an omen.
Yep, there you go. Very good. Very well done.
Oh, and he also says that my zombie minions get +2 attack.
Yes, which you do already have a zombie minion in that location. Those effects only affect the other minions in the same location that we are currently fighting over. So yes, that is a thing. So now, for my next action, I am going to do my Sorcerer's action, which allows me to exhaust a minion of four or less cost in the location that my Sorcerer currently is. And if there is none possibly available instead, I could get 3 energy, but there is one available. I'm going to exhaust this zombie because now that he has the crazy bonus stats, I don't want him attacking me with the bonus stats. But there's another really cool thing with that because I have an ongoing ability on my character here that says, my minion, she says, whenever an enemy minion becomes exhausted, gain 1 blood. Boom, 3 blood.
For my third action, I'm going to gain 2 energy.
Ah, very good. I am going to do the same. I'm also going to gain 2 energy because I had to spend just about all of mine to cast that large minion there.
I'm going to play another minion. This one costs 3. And this is the Rat Catcher.
Oh, the Rat Catcher is great.
He has 2 attack and 1 essence. And he says that when played, I can draw a card, discard a card, and then I can play a minion card with cost 2 or less from my graveyard without paying its cost. I'm going to draw a card. And hey, I'm going to discard this card. And this says that I'm allowed to play it from my graveyard without paying its cost if it's 2 or less. So here's 1. I'm going to play it.
Is he going in this location now?
He's actually going in this location because I can have 4, right?
Yes. So it's, yeah, I was going to say, well, we'll slide over to make a little room. It's just we needed the room to show everything on camera, but yes.
Yeah. I'm going all out in this location.
Wow.
And he has a pentagram, an omen symbol, so I'm going to go ahead and take it.
Now, don't you have an ability for playing guys from your discard pile?
So I do. So this is whenever I play a zombie from my discard
Oh, so it won't work for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Are you all finished then?
I'm finished.
Okay. For my next action, I'm just going to spend 2 to bring out a Thessalonian Horror, but I'm going to play them in Old London. Since Juliana is probably pretty well winning over here in Whitechapel in the middle, I've decided I'm not going to try to throw a bunch more force over there. Instead, I'm going to spread out and try to do some fighting over a different area of the city. The Thessalonian Horror has 3 attack, 1 essence, and when destroyed, they will automatically return to my hand. And then I have the option to weaken an enemy there. Weaken means I do a damage, though that damage may not be used to kill the enemy. Though there are no enemies currently there, but that'll be it for my turn.
On my turn, I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Fair enough. On my turn, I'm going to gain 2 energy.
I'm going to reinforce. I'm going to move one of my minions.
From one location to another?
Yep.
So who's, are you coming over to try to defend over here?
I'm actually going to move over here when there is nobody.
Oh, clever, clever. Very nice. I like it.
Unless you have something that you're going to pull out of your hat.
Yeah, I do got one more action here. I'm going to spend 3 on the corpse feeder, and I am going to pull it out of my hat and put it in that location to help fight over Southwark. So now I am trying to fight over all 3 areas. That was the final action for this action phase, and Juliana is heavily invested in the center area and also fighting with me over Southwark. Now, it is Juliana's turn. She was the first player, so it is her turn to start off the battle phase. And in the battle phase, we're going to fight out over all the areas going left to right from whoever has the first player token, which, by the way, can also be exhausted to be able to do a full reroll of dice, but we'll get to that in a minute. But to start with, we start with Juliana's left-hand area, which is
here.
Old London.
So I don't have any people here, any minions, so you just get to fight unopposed.
Indeed. So unopposed is good. I can do extra damage there. So what I'm going to do, my Thessalonian Horror will attack. He has a power of 3, which means I get to grab 3 dice and roll them. I'm going to roll them out here so you guys can see them. And I rolled a crit, a double hit, and a blank. Now, it is my option first. If I would like to do a reroll, I can spend my tokens here each one at a time to reroll a single die. Juliana also has the option to spend this to force a reroll of all dice in a roll. Now, I'm going to pass because I think this is a pretty darn good roll, and I don't feel I need to spend one of my tokens on this one. What do you think, Juliana?
I'm going to make you re-roll that crit because you're running unopposed. That means that's worth 2.
It is indeed. It's basically another double hit.
You could re-roll that.
All right, let's see what I got. I got a blank. You know what? I'm going to re-roll it too now. So let's give it a shot. Oh no! Do you want any more rerolls?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I want to save my other reroll for later. So I'm gonna do 2 damage over here. The little token is gonna go on the 2 space from that double hit. Not a bad start. Not great though. It would have been better if I had my original roll there. So now we're gonna move to Whitechapel, and in Whitechapel, automatically the player who has the first player marker gets to take the first attack. So Juliana, who is going to take that first attack?
I am going to use this rat catcher. So I'm gonna exhaust
Is
him.
he a zombie?
He is a zombie, yes.
Oh, so he's gonna get +2 attack.
He's a zombie, so he gets 4 dice because of his +2 ability. So
Here's
I'll take
3.
this 3 and this 4.
Okay, let's see what you get.
I got plenty of rerolls, so.
You do. Oh
Right.
gosh, that's it's okay. It's not terrible for me. Are you gonna do a reroll? It's kind of like it's not terrible, but it's not great. Like it's right in the middle.
I'm gonna reroll one of these blank dice.
Okay. Let's see what you got. 2 crits. You're not unopposed here. You know what? I am going to save my reroll. I'm going to let you have it. So now, the first thing that happens in this case is Juliana gets to assign the crits. I don't assign them. So Juliana, where are you doing the damage for your 2 crits?
I don't love her, so I would like to assign both wounds to her.
All right. So, well,
Or both crits.
So she takes 2 damage from the 2 crits, and then there's one more just regular damage here for the skull. The stars are the crits. The skull is a hit. I get to assign the damage from the regular one. I'm going to assign it to my area because I don't want to take another damage on her. She's already half dead, and I would like her not to die. However, ongoing effect, an enemy minion has become exhausted here, so I gain another blood. Woo! Now it is my turn. I am going to attack here as well with my Night Vale Hunter. Now she gets 5 dice. She's a big slugger. So I'm going to take my 5 dice here. And let's see what I can do. Vampires hit hard!
We're just gonna go ahead and reroll all of those.
I thought you might. Come on, be even better. Lots of crits. Give me like 5 crits. Oh, I got 3 crits. That's actually not really much worse. That's pretty good.
Do you get to choose to reroll first, or do I?
I do, but I'm going to pass. That's pretty great.
I would like to reroll one of those crits, please.
Okay, I thought you might. Let's see. It turned to a regular hit.
Much better.
You know what? I am going to re-roll the blank because I want a big hit here. Oh, but I got nothing. Okay, well, I'm going to do, let's see. The first crit I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the rat catcher.
Okay.
Let's get rid of him. So, because he only has one essence. 1 crit is all it takes to kill him. Then I'm going to do a point of damage directly to the Lord of the Undead because I don't like him and I would like him to go away. And I have 2 more regular damage that Juliana gets to assign. So where are you putting the last 2 damage?
I'm actually going to take 1 damage here.
On your zombie dude?
On my zombie.
Let's slide him over so we show that he is in the center area.
And then I'll take 1 on the area.
Okay, and then in which case I'm done, and Julianne has 1 character left there to attack with, the 1 minion, the Lord of the Undead.
Okay, perfect. So I'm actually going to use my domain ability. I may exhaust this skill card to give the attacking minion +1 attack. If I do, I may destroy that minion at the end of its attack to gain 3 energy.
Okay, but now you don't have to destroy them, but you can.
You don't have to, but I can.
Okay, so they're going to be attacking with 5 dice then. So go ahead and exhaust them.
Okay.
And of course, her ability happens again where I get another blood. So I'm going to move my blood counter up to 5. This is great. I can't wait till I get 10 blood.
The blood is really fun. I played that in one of the earlier games.
It is really cool. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, that's not very good.
Well, it's 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah.
I don't have any rerolls.
Yeah, me neither. We've actually used up all our rerolls. There was a lot of heated rerolling. I guess I'm just going to take it. So you know what? I'm going to put it all in the area, though. I'm going to bring you up to 5 damage on the area. I know that's a little risky, but I do have a total of 12 points of damage before you take it out, and I don't want to lose my biggest character on the board yet. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. And I'm not going to destroy him because I like him.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to the end over here. I get initiative on the end locations. Whoever's got the first player marker gets to go first in the middle, but the other player gets to go first on the ends. So I'm going to get to attack on the end. So I'm going to attack with the Corpse Feeder, and then I'm going to exhaust the Screaming Coast, which has a tactic ability, which can be triggered when someone attacks. You may exhaust this skill card to weaken a minion. If you weaken the attacking minion, it gets +3 attack. So I am going to weaken the Corpse Feeder, and it will get 6 attack dice.
That's quite a few attack dice. I'm scared.
This is going to be great. I'm loving it. You know what? I like this combination of effects. Actually, these guys were. This is the first time I've tried this particular combination out, and these guys actually work really well together. I'm digging them. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's a good roll.
And I can't do anything about it.
All right, well, I've got a crit, so I'm going to start by killing your guy there, because if he dies, he doesn't get to attack. But does he have an ability when he dies?
I get 2 energy now because of that.
All right, so yeah, he had an ability that triggered when he died. He got 2 energy. But then I'm also going to do 2, 4, 6 damage to this location. So there we go. Now we're done with all the combat on the locations, which means we go back to the beginning of the next turn, which starts with the ready phase. Let me get the dice out of the way. So the first thing with the ready phase is we switch who gets the first player token, and they get to refill it so that they can use it for another forced full reroll. Then we unexhaust all cards that were exhausted so that we can use them again this round, which we got to use quite a few cards actually in that round. It was really great.
Yeah, I got to use all but 1. I mean, you also exhausted this.
Then the first player can decide to either give both players 4 energy, or they can roll this D8, and it will tell us how much energy we get. I'm going to roll. Come on. You know it. 7!
7 energy. I'm all up to 10.
Woo. Oh, geez. I'm jealous. That's actually really awesome. But I am up to 7, so that is not bad. I'll take that. Then we set back our turn trackers to 6. Each player gains 1 omen for an extra reroll there, which is very nice. And then starting with the first player, we put our avatars anywhere we want to. So I am going to keep my avatar there because competition right there in the middle of the board is very heated right now. And I think I would benefit from being able to take my abilities there. For my first action, I am going to spend 4 energy to play a Voiceless Covenant, which is another vampire character. I'm going to play them here in the middle. And then I'm going to, since I played them in the area where my Sorcerer is, I'm going to activate the Blood Lord to gain 2 blood, which brings me all the way up to 7 blood. Now, this character has an ability that whenever a minion is destroyed, including this one, I gain 1 blood. I am trying to save up to do the biggest blood effect, which is the 10 blood. So that is really cool. So that is going to be it for my first action.
Okay. For my first action, with my full 10 energy, I'm actually just going to play a minion, Energy Bound Prophet. When played,
oh no,
I may pay any amount of energy, draw that many cards, and gain that many omens. I'm going to go ahead and play her right here.
So what? How much energy other than the one to pay her are you going to be paying?
1. And I'm going to go down to 2, so that's 7.
Wow, so 7 cards and 7 tokens. Let me get you some tokens here. 3, 6, 7. Here you go.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So wow, yeah, that is pretty freaking amazing, actually. Wow, okay, you have a lot of rerolls. Okay, so for my next action, I am going to draw 2 cards.
I am going to gain 2 energy.
I am going to activate my Sorcerer's ability to exhaust your zombie dude again, which again, thanks to my ability here, gains me 1 more blood.
Okay, I am going to play Raise the Dead for 2 essence, or 2 energy. It has an omen symbol, so here we go. And it allows me to play a minion from my graveyard with its cost lowered by 4 and deal damage to it equal to its essence -1.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rat Catcher.
Ooh.
Put him back here.
Okay.
You thought he was gone. And he doesn't take any damage because...
he's only got an essence of 1.
So
I just noticed that this turn this round when I put out the Voiceless Covenant, I forgot to take my token because she did have the pentacle symbol on her.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. Are you all finished with your turn?
I am all done.
I'm going to draw 2 cards.
For my next turn, I am going to gain 2 energy because I am low.
Understandable. For my turn here, I am going to spend the 3 energy I have here to place a second corpse feeder over here in this area. That is pretty awesome. Works well for me.
I'm going to use Zephyr's action, exhaust him to play a non-legendary minion with its cost reduced by 2.
Nice.
So still in London, in Whitechapel, I'm going to play a second rat catcher.
For only 1.
For 1.
We'll just
You just put them
shimmy them in there because, yeah. Okay. Are you finished with that turn?
That is it.
All right, so I am on my last turn here, which I am going to spend my last action to grab 2 energy. That is going to be my last action for this round, and now it is Juliana's turn for her last action.
All right. For my last action, I'm going to play Book of the Dead, which costs 1 energy. This is an equipable item that I'm going to equip to one of my rat catchers. And it gives me +2 attack and +2 essence.
That is awesome.
And the tactic says that I may draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards.
Which happens whenever Juliana attacks with him. So she is very well equipped over here in the central area, which is Whitechapel, whereas I am doing better on the flank. So let's get to the battle phase, and we're going to start with my left over here on the Southwark. So I'm the only person who has anyone there. So my first corpse feeder is going to attack with 3 dice, and he will roll a crit and a hit. That would be, as they are unopposed, the crit counts as 2 hits. So that would be a total of 3 hits to the area, unless Juliana would like to cause some rerolls. I'm not going to do any rerolls.
I am saving, well, let's re-roll the crit.
All right, let's give it a shot. And it came up a double hit, so functionally equivalent. Going to cause any more rerolls?
I am not.
Okay, so this will do a total of 3 damage here. 1, 2, 3. But I have a second corpse feeder to go. So I'm going to attack again for another 3 dice. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's even worse. That is going to be a total of 4 possible damage in that location.
You can have it.
I
gotta save these. I got so much happening over here.
Now, I have completely conquered this location, so we flip it over and we put a symbol on the side of my side of the area showing that I have conquered it. No more fights can go on here. I can move these guys out of here with future actions on future turns, but that will be it for the fighting over that area. Now we're going to move on to the next area here. I have the first turn marker here, so I get to attack first. I am going to attack with my Night Vale Hunter, who gets 5 dice, which is quite a bit. And you know what? I'm going to activate the Screaming Coast to give her 1 damage to get +3 more dice. So she's down to her last life there, but she will roll 8 dice. So I'm going to roll the 7 that come in the box, and I'm going to re-roll 1 that is a blank. So there we go. I'm going to re-roll 1 of the blanks here. Whoops, that didn't come out so good. And I've still got 1 extra die that is a blank there. I get to decide first if I want to do a re-roll. I'm going to re-roll the whole thing. I'm going to exhaust that and re-roll the whole thing.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good roll. Let's try again. And
Whoa.
There we go. And the extra one's still, unfortunately, a blank. So, Juliana, are you going to cause me to do any rerolls?
I would like you to reroll 1 of those crits.
Okay, let's see what happens. It's a blank. I'm going to reroll it again. I'm going to get rid of my token as well, one of my pentacle tokens, and it turned into a hit. How about you? Would you like to cause a reroll?
I would like to reroll 1 of those crits.
I don't blame you. Let's see what happens. Oh man, your rerolls are really effective. I got 1 reroll left. I'm going to reroll it again. I want to do a lot of damage. Oh, it's a crit again.
All right, let's reroll that crit.
Oh man, you got too many rerolls there. Oh, yeah. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, you're going to let that stand?
You can.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to kill the rat catcher that is not augmented with the attachment, because They have not gone yet, which means they will not get an attack. Now, because someone died in the location with the Voiceless Covenant, she has the ability that I gain a blood, so I'm up to 9 blood here.
I wish there was a way for me to take your blood. I'm the vampires.
Come for it.
Okay. Now, are you finished and it's
Yes,
my turn? Okay.
yes.
So, wow, that was a lot. I'm going to start by attacking with my rat catcher.
Now, he gets a lot of dice because of that upgrade.
He gets a lot of dice, plus he gets
Yes.
+2, and I'm actually going to exhaust this skill card to give him +1 attack.
So 7 dice?
7 dice.
Whoa! Hold on here.
That's
wow.
all of them, if I'm not mistaken.
That is all of them. There
Okay.
you go. That's going to be a big roll. Let's see it happen. And I'm out of stuff to force a reroll.
That was terrible.
Whew, I'm glad. But you have the rerolls.
I'm going to, well, I can only do 1 at a time, so I'm going to reroll one of those blank dice.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
not better.
Reroll another blank die. Same one.
There you go.
Double.
Double hit. That's an improvement.
Reroll another one of these blanks. Wow. This is not going my way.
Okay.
That's my...
Last. Oh, you still got 1 more.
Okay.
Gonna spend it? Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is my worst roll yet.
There you go.
Okay, that's not
also,
bad.
I forgot to mention, because one of my enemies became exhausted here, I'm now up to my full 10 blood, which I'll explain what I would have done next round with that in a moment. But yes, this is crazy. You are hitting me with massive, massive amounts of damage, and I have no rerolls to force. So where is the crit coming at? Because you get to assign that.
I would like to...
Oh, don't. So bad. She was so nice. She didn't do anything to you. Okay, and how much more damage do I got coming my
All right,
way?
you got 7.
Yowzers. Well, you know what? I'm going to take 2 on my Voiceless Covenant, and I'm going to take, I have to take 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have almost conquered this area. That is not good for me. But now it is my turn. I am going to attack here for 4 dice. Nowhere near as impressive. But let's see. Hopefully I can do something. And yeah, that did not go my way. 1 point of damage coming your way.
All right, I'm going to actually just kill this vengeful mummy.
Well, it's easy. He can be played back from the discard pile, so no big deal. Okay, your turn.
I'm going to attack with Lord of the Undead for
4
4
dice.
dice. Woo.
Give you 1 over there.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hopefully I get something better than last round. Oh, okay, a crit and 2.
That is
It's actually pretty good.
really, really good. So here's the thing. I can't cause any rerolls. Where's the crit going?
Let's go ahead and, I mean...
All right,
let's
so in
just
which
take
case,
this whole thing.
it's going to take the whole thing. You're going to take the center. I'm going to lose the character because the extra damage has to go on them. And then we're going to flip it over, and Juliana has taken Whitechapel. This is a very eventful game. And we're going to move on to the final battle in the second round. I can't believe how quickly this game is actually going. Usually they're not. This game plays fast, but not usually this fast. I mean, second round, and we've already had 2 of the areas. This is an exciting game, actually, to
they've been
show.
conquered.
Yeah, this is crazy. All right, so over here, you get the initiative because on the edges, the person who doesn't have the first player marker gets to go first. So are you going to attack with that character there?
I am, of course, going to attack.
Okay.
I get 2 dice.
I say it as if you have an option. I mean, you have to attack.
I have to attack.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's
2
2.
damage. Okay, so I'm going to take it on the location, and then I'm going to attack back for 3 dice. And 2 damage at you as well.
Okay, I'm going to take it here.
Okay, and there you can see that is how you play a game of Sorcerer. This, in a nutshell, is how a game normally goes. I mean, we've actually played through most of the game here because this game was actually going really fast. This was very bloody and very vicious. I do want to show I managed to fill up my blood pool. Now, there are tons of cool abilities on this blood pool. There are abilities that only cost 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 and then all the way up to 10. But 10 was what I was waiting for because 10 says you can spend the 10 blood on the blood pool to play a non-legend minion from your hand without paying its cost. On my next turn, I was going to be throwing out the Ravenous Aristocrat, which is a really powerful, usually 6 energy cost guy. He's not a legend. Legends have symbols over here. Let me show a legend character. I have a super powerful character in my hand who is a legend because he has this little symbol here on his card. That little symbol before his name means he is a legend. This guy is not a legend, but is very powerful as a 6 attack, 5 essence, and has an ability that when he's destroyed, I gain 1 blood for each damage counter on enemy minions in his area. So he's really awesome. And I was going to get him out basically for free because it was from the blood pool, which was going to be really awesome. That was going to be on the next round. So there you have it. I mean, that's how you play a game of Sorcerer. You have a cheat sheet that helps you run through all your options for your actions on your action phase, as well as how to organize the battle phase and do the ready phase and such, and you play until one player has conquered 2 of the 3 areas in London. So at this point, we have each conquered 1, and we're fighting over the last possible area. So now we're going to head on back. We're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Welcome back. So that was how you play a game of Sorcerer. We did make one error there. We corrected it up on the screen, but otherwise, yeah, that was how you play a game of Sorcerer, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed filming this because we already played a few games today before we even did the filming, and I was really enjoying it so much that I was actually quite enjoying the example game.
Yeah, the example game, actually, I feel like if we had just gone 1 or 2 extra turns, the game just would have been over.
It was brutal.
It was a bloodbath.
It was. It really
Quite
was.
literally,
It really
because you
was.
had the blood pool. So.
Yes, and the vampires. We had the Bloodlord and the vampires.
I had the zombies.
You had the zombies. All right, so okay, let's start with some negatives. Juliana, do you have a negative you would like to address with Sorcerer?
So I thought that one of the combinations that I played just didn't work well for me.
It didn't click with you.
It didn't click with me. I don't know if it was because of the combination specifically, or just because I had played a completely different combination that worked really well with me. So that might be more of a me criticism than anything.
But that was only like one of multiple games.
It was only one of multiple games. I think that was really it, and that's not even really a negative. It's more
because if anything, you could turn that into a positive and say, but you can figure out which factions you like and draft the factions you want to play with, and there's ludicrous numbers of combinations.
You know, maybe the one thing is reminding to take the omen tokens.
Yes,
because I feel like we
did have issues with
that multiple times.
We even forgot it once during the example. Yeah. So the omen token is just a little symbol on the side of the card. It's very small. It's easy to miss. It's not a big deal to correct it. We have corrected it in many games, but I agree, that is a decent gripe because that little symbol is very easy to miss. It's a minor issue, and once you get used to looking for it, hopefully you won't miss it. But similarly, the other actual error that we had gone too far on to be able to correct is that we often forget that the abilities for the character, their cards, can only be done where your avatar figure is.
Right.
We've forgotten that a few times too. That's one of those. There's a couple of tricksy things in there, a couple of specific rules that are a little bit difficult to remember, but I do feel like you'll get used to them.
Yeah, on that same note, I think one of the things that could be better is if there was something in those areas that your sorcerer wasn't in, because I wasn't really inclined to play cards in the areas where my sorcerer wasn't, because... Well,
yeah, but then you are as soon as I put someone there.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I put someone there, and then you're like, oh crap, well, now you're unopposed, and your crits are going to do double damage. Let me throw someone over there to stop you. That's your incentive, is when your opponent goes, well, if you're not going to put anyone over here...
I'll put someone here, and I'll just do double damage.
Okay, let's talk positives, because I don't think we're grasping at straws for negatives.
Yeah, really grasping at straws here.
Okay, this game is fantastic. So first off, production. I want to throw out the first positive. This game is beautiful. The production is off the freaking hook. It is crazy. It is gorgeous. The artwork is absolutely insanely beautiful. The fact that they made the inside of the top cover of the box beautiful to be used as a dice tray is amazing. I love that they did that. The insert is perfect. It holds everything and has extra room for expansions. I love the production of this game. It is beautiful. It is sturdy. It is well made. And then they even make as an expansion, they make some custom sleeves, even if you think the cards aren't sturdy enough. But I thought the cards were pretty good quality. If you played a lot, you might want the sleeves. But actually, if this is only gonna be a thing that's gonna like be in a large collection like mine, where you like it a lot and it's gonna hit the table, but once in a while, you might not even need the sleeves. It's well made.
I would say I love the way the cards are made, the dice, everything, the inlay, all of that's gorgeous. The art, I mean, I feel like we touched on the art, but like, oh my gosh, I kept showing you cards from my hand. You were showing me cards from your hand.
There are a few cards in particular. The art in here, the phrase that comes to my mind is horrifyingly adorable.
Yes.
Because there are things in here, specifically, there's two cards that stick out. The first one is the rat catcher. The rat catcher is this little kid zombie snuggling rats. And he is horrifyingly adorable, and I love him. I absolutely love him. I want to hug him.
I liked the little fox cat that looked like it was a little zombie fox cat. I don't remember which.
He was like a guide to the underworld, I think. And also I love that noble spider guy.
Oh,
he's very cute too. But again, creepy but cute.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And I think though, so the one gripe I have with the production is maybe if there was like an acrylic overlay for the board, because I felt like I don't know. For the energy.
I don't get it. So why have recessed? To have it recessed?
Yeah.
You mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Because you'd want it recessed so like the stuff wouldn't like it would stay in its spot.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's mostly because you know I live with cats. And they jump up on the table. You forget where things go. But I can always want those. I
didn't even think of that. Just because of how much I like the production, but you're right. That could be a minor gripe.
It's literally just a minor. I mean, it could be one of those things. It's like an upgrade that you buy.
Oh yeah.
Right, like those kinds of things are.
So I like this game enough that I would buy upgraded boards
exactly.
for that. So there is that, by the way.
Because I love the board. I love the fact that the board.
So White Wizard Games, if you want to come up with upgraded boards,
seriously.
take my money. You gave me this for free to review, but I will buy upgraded boards from you. Take my money. Okay.
Absolutely.
Anything else we should talk about the production?
No. But I do think we should just say again that the art is so good.
It is so good. It is so good. Okay, gameplay, because the gameplay in this is also fantastic. Why don't you go first on gameplay?
Yeah, I loved the gameplay.
Yes.
I felt like it was incredibly engaging. There was just no dead air. Like we were constantly doing stuff. I was never like, oh my gosh, Josh is taking forever on his turn, because I was looking at my hand thinking like, what are my next 3 turns going to be? It was just, it's unbelievable. I have never played a game
fast.
like this.
It's so intense.
Yeah.
It's so riveting. And there are those moments where you're playing and you're looking at your hand and you're looking over your cards at your opponent, and suddenly you spot a combo that only appears because you chose a specific group of things, and you go, oh!
That happened to you a few times, and you were not coy about it either.
No, I was like, oh my god, can I do this? And then like there was one where I did this combo over the course of a turn, and you were like, are you seriously doing that again? Because it was a combo I was able to repeat.
You did it 3 times.
Yeah, and you were like, are you serious right now? Are you doing that again? But it was so good. Yeah. Discovering the combos in this, and you will discover combos, because I've played 3 different combinations, completely different combinations of characters, where it's character,
lineage
and domain. And in each one, I discovered amazing combos.
Yeah.
Every time.
I mean, that's just who you are, though. You play games, you find combos.
Yeah, but not all the games have the combos to find.
I will say this game makes it easy.
It really
with the
does.
Combos. Like I was floored at some of the combinations that we were able to come up with.
And they're great. It's great stuff. All right, yeah, the mechanics are great. The mechanics feel intuitive. They feel like they move really quickly. Your turns move very fast. The game is unbelievably fun, and it's so fast and furious that I do not mind losing. And it's one of those games where you die and you go, let's draft some new characters and dominions and just play again. Let's just go again.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I felt the first game. I was like, I loved this character, but you know what? I want to play a completely different character. And that's what we ended up doing, and it was just...
And I love that this is... The base set allows you to do, because of the different combinations, almost 50 different characters, basically.
Yeah.
From just the base set, without expansions, which, by the way, I will be buying the expansions myself because I want more combinations. I want to do hundreds of different characters. Forget that. But it's if you can't tell, I'm gushing.
Yeah, you were gushing a little bit throughout the game. You are not shy about how much you love this game.
I am blown away by this game. I am, and I do not use that phrase lightly. I am blown away by Sorcerer. This is one of the best games I've played, possibly in the last few years. This is one of the best games I've tried in the last few years. That's how much I like this game.
I think I would want to try it at 3 or 4 to say that.
I will. I'm going to say I don't even need to. I will. I will try it at 3 and 4, but I don't even feel I need to because I like it so much at 2. 2 is where I love it, and I do love it.
I mean, I want to say I would try it to give a full, accurate. This is one of the best games because I do play with more than just 2 people. Quite a lot.
Well, we will have to try it at a larger player count to see how it plays. But I'm loving it too.
I agree. It was so good. I mean, oh my God. You don't get very many 2-player games like this.
This is so good. Okay, so all right, the designers hit it out of the park with this one. Of the park. No, you know what? I'm going to take that back. The designers hit it out of the state with this one. Yeah. This is like Superman hitting a home run into another state. Oh, that's how good this game is.
There's one thing I forgot to mention. I love that at the start you get 6 cards, 6 energy. And what was the?
And it was 6 cards, 6 energy, and 6 actions.
Yeah, 6 actions.
So thematically for the demonic characters, because it's a devilishly good time. Oh, come on, that was good. Okay. All right, no, this is a great time. Yeah. This game is absolutely amazing. Okay, we're both very gushing on this. However, I think I'm going to be higher than you on my score, so I'm going to let you rate first, so we can end on the higher score.
So I'm giving it about a 7.5.
Oh, I thought you were going to be higher than that with how positive you are.
I really enjoy the game. I don't know how often I would be able to play this without it feeling.
But at 2 players, I mean, this could hit the table easily. Yeah. At 2 players for sure.
I mean, I've been like 7.5, 8. I feel like okay, if you want to be generous.
Well, it's up to you. I don't want to influence your decision. No. 7.5 is where you're at.
Okay,
are you changing your mind?
I think it's an 8. I think.
Oh, okay.
So based on I don't know
Again, are you struggling with this one a little?
I'm struggling because the thing is, I love it, but I feel like I'm being, I feel like I'm gushing too much. I don't want it to feel like,
be honest.
Oh, I'm giving it. Okay, it's an 8. It's an 8. This is an 8 game. This game is an 8 for me. I really like it. I would play it anytime you want to bring it out.
I love how you were trying to be too conservative because you didn't want to be too gushing about it, but then you're just like, no, it's an 8.
Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm like, just like.
Well, if they think that about you, then what are they going to think about the fact that I'm giving it 10 out of 10 stars? Perfect score.
Oh, my God.
Perfect score. I haven't given a perfect score in a long time. I can't remember what the last 10 I gave. I think my 10s have remained fairly unchanged for like 2 years now. This is the first 10 out of 10 star game. I think... There's one other. I don't know which review's coming out. There's actually a couple of really good ones. There's one other that I'm giving 10 stars to. I don't know if its review's coming out before this or not, but there's been a couple of games I tried recently. This is one of them that both blew me away and have increased my number of 10-star ratings on BGG. You'll have to check out my other recent or upcoming videos to figure out which the other one was. But yeah, there were 2, and they were both games I got at PAX Unplugged. And I am blown away by the new games that came out this year at PAX Unplugged, or at least that I got at PAX Unplugged. Because this game actually came out last year, but I was given it at PAX Unplugged. Feel free to check out. I'll put a link to my haul from PAX Unplugged if you want to see what all the games were I got there. But generally speaking, I got some great games at PAX Unplugged. 10 out of 10 stars. I adore this game. I love this game so much. I don't even know what else I could say. I'm giving it a perfect 10 points because I absolutely love it. So there you go. If you enjoyed this review and tutorial, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns on the game of Sorcerer or this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, Game on. We're going to have a puppy blooper here, I think. Hi, Nico. You being crazy? You being crazy? Puppy blooper already? He's like, it's my Juliana. You can't record with her. Nico, you need to get down on the floor. Okay, come on. Down on the floor, Nico. Oh. Nico, you already got your one puppy blooper quoted in. You don't need a second one.
He
He's
really
like,
likes to be in your videos.
he is a attention hog and a camera hog. You are so cute, but you need to go play on the